The only thing is, let me like on the microphone part, left corner, there's like a graphic
Let me call it. Okay, go ahead and tell me what you did now.
in the bottom left corner, like can you hear us, Al? Can you hear us like talking on the computer? Okay. Yeah, so maybe it's just the wrong microphone selected.
Oh wait, now I can hear you. I can hear you. Okay, let's start it out because we wherever you can. Yeah, we can hear you.
You good?
Yes, sir. Coach, you got to go 11:45. Yes, sir. Okay, we'll get you in. Get you in. Like I'll be voice of Western New Mexico, but I think it's over there. We got a brand new softball team, but it hasn't canceled. Good morning and welcome to Sports Desk Live on Comcast Channel 26, also streamed on Facebook. I'm your host, Ed Nunez. Our very special guest today is Alamogordo girls softball coach Charlene Reyes, joined by her husband, Ronnie Reyes, an assistant coach there. Tigers ranked #1 in both the NMOT polls and the state polls, and they're 20-3, district record of 11-1, have reeled off 9 straight wins, I believe. Coach Charlene Reyes, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having us. We appreciate it.
Coach Ronnie Reyes, welcome to you as well. And, we got to have an abbreviated little sports desk. You've got to go. But, Coach, you've been there. You built a program there. You mentioned 1995 and 1996, 29th season. And, Coach, as programs go, that's amazing. It is, because you see a lot of movement with coaches. You're an Alamogordo alumni, I'm gathering?
Yes, both of us are.
Well,
Yes.
tell us a little bit about, how that started. You've been, 29 seasons anywhere is incredible. It really is. And you built a great program there. And, you played Centennial, you played La Cueva. I had La Cueva last week against Rio Rancho. I've got Rio Rancho tonight. Tell us a little bit about how you built the program and where it's at. You've got 2 state titles, 1999 and 2004. It's certainly a good chance to bring home that blue trophy this year. Tell us a little bit about the building of the Alamogordo girls softball program.
It's been a lot of work, let me tell you, 29 years worth. The first year we had to prove ourselves, that was 94, 95. And so we weren't funded or recognized by the school. But between us and a couple other coaches, a couple other men in the community that had been running softball travel teams during the summers, that kind of thing. And with Cruces having their 3 teams, they had Cruces, Mayfield, and the Deming team was on that side. And then real big was Cobre, and of course Carlsbad on the other side with Clovis. So finally we were able to get a chance to prove ourselves. And so we worked hard that season and proved that we had the numbers and that we had the kids. And the next year they picked us up, and we've been going strong ever since. It's been a lot of work. We've gone through, just kind of working at a field that was just kind of homegrown. And then we were displaced and we were moved over to a city field because the school district had decided to rebuild our area that we had been playing at. So we were displaced for a little while, and we were over at Griggs Field, and then finally between the city and the school district, we were able to come up with our softball complex. We share with two softball fields. And it's been a lot of work when they set up our fields. I don't think anybody knew anything about softball. And instead of asking us, they put grass on the infield, just like they set it up as all baseball fields. So we went in and we had to turn over the two fields and make them softball. And we did that ourselves. And most of the time it's been us.
Wow, that's incredible. You know what? Again, and you've got your daughters who played for the Lady Tigers and also played. You know, I got to tell you something, Coach. I just, you're both Western New Mexico alumni, and I'm the voice out there in Western New Mexico, and they just built, I hope you can get a chance to see it someday, a brand new field, brand new, which is one of the best in the conference. So you saying that people, you had to get a commitment from the community, and, you had to they put grass on it, they didn't even ask you. Let me ask you this. Did he winning a title in 1999, way back, right? Way back. Did that change any attitudes about that at that time? Did anybody say, hey, wait, let's pay attention more. Let's give them more funding. Did that change any attitudes?
Yes. And the thing about it is, at the time, that season, 1996, the group of girls that we had, they were workhorses. They worked really hard. And my husband, which unbelievably said, give us 4 years, we'll have a state title. And he was right on the money, which, sometimes that doesn't happen, but he was right on the money. And it was nice. And there were a couple of times where, we just fell short. We took second or third place. And then again, back in 2004, we had another group of kids. What was nice with those kids is, they played off season, they played on their own. And there were times where, we would work with a group of girls but they would go on their own and they would play off season and do some damage there. We have a couple of national titles under our belt. There were a couple of times where we were ranked. And so, yes, the community, open arms welcomed us, and our school district started to back us. And I think that's, like I said, when we were displaced, that was meant to, when we were displaced to Griggs Field with the city fields, that was meant to not only help the city, but help the school district, and in turn, it helped the softball program and along with the baseball fields. It gave the baseball program 2 extra fields, and then it gave us a starting point to where we could call something our own. I'll be honest with you, we lived off porta potties, and we built our own dugouts and poured our own cement for the dugouts and built our own sheds and took things with us and brought them back with us. And in fact, one of the sheds that we had built when we were displaced, we brought back with us, and we barely tore it down last year. It was hard for us to tear it down. We tore it down, but it was just one of those things where the girls worked hard for us. The girls in the program worked all the time, together as a team. I had a core staff of coaches and men, just that were parents, dads, and moms that would help with Booster Club and would help with, whatever we needed concession stand wise and field wise. Honestly, just not recently, I'd say within last 5 or so years, we hold a scrimmage, and it's pretty good all day scrimmage. And it had rained all night, and we had dads out there with coaches shoveling the water off the field so we could guarantee we'd have a scrimmage. So lots of hard work, lots of appreciation from the parents and the community supporters along through the years, and this guy right here, because he does a lot of field work. His field is impeccable. It's one of the best.
Coach Ronnie Reyes, I got to ask you this. And I think, Coach Charlene Reyes, back to you just for a sec. The work that you did on this program is your own blood, sweat, right? So that just stuff. I've got to get out there and see that. That's amazing to me. It really is, the commitment, and it takes a lot of work. Coach Ronnie Reyes, I got to ask you this, though. You said give us 4 years and we'll have a state champ. So a program that people would be like, are you crazy? What would make you think that? What made you think that? I got to ask you that, because that's bold, man. And you did. They did. But what was your thinking at that time? And look where the program is now. Number 1 ranked in the state. It's been, and you could look back on and say, again, it's been our hard work, right? And the girls, got to have the players. What made you think that, Coach, back there? Coach Ronnie Reyes, what made you think that?
Well, you said it, the players. I found players that were dedicated, that had the heart. And like Coach said, we took teams that all in the summertime, and we, from high school, then we went to summer. We had no vacation. Our summer vacation was picking up our team, and we called them the Blue Angels. and we have 2 national titles. Both of them were my kids, had both titles. So my daughters played a big part of it. Just the heart that they had and that they showed that they just played, and that's why the results were going on to college. But that's always our goal, is to get these kids onto the next level. And we've taught that every year, just trying to get them to the next level. But you got to have the kids and got to have the heart. And these kids did. And that's why I was able to say that, because staying with them like that, you just know these kids and how they play. And, playing 4 years of baseball at Western, it was good. That always helps.
Well, it's funny because, I told you I'm the voice in Western. We haven't played baseball there in a long time. And, the athletic director was thinking of trying to bring it back. And that's probably some years down the way because they need a field to play at. And softball, I'm still hoping that we're going to be better next year. I think we will be. And for those that don't know, Coach, and I don't have near the experience. I've been covering softball for about 4 or 5 years up there. It's an amazing game. It really is. And so back in the day when you started that program and people looking at it the way they did then, they didn't know. They didn't know about building the field, but you and Coach Charlene Reyes sure did. And you can always look back on that someday. You got years to coach still there, you can always look back and say, man, look, it's work. You're saying
it was work.
Yeah. Pouring the concrete and, the hard labor that you did. And it's a labor of love. Coach Charlene Reyes, you played at Alamogordo softball. Did you play there? Was there a program there?
No, we started the program here. So we didn't have high school softball. We had big track. Track was dominant here. And so, in Alamogordo, we're our own small community. And so numbers weren't always there. And so we had the Sepulveda family, who are excellent people, but they had run the track program. So at the time, there wasn't any softball. We started it here, and we were able to. And that was the thing. We had to prove ourselves. We were able to come up with the numbers. And as we grew throughout the years, the numbers became higher. So we actually have a varsity JV and C team. So we're able to. COVID's put a dent in a little bit of the numbers, but we've always been able to have the numbers outside of what, track also needed. So we complement each other. The kids, some of the kids just can't play softball. It's a difficult game. So, we've worked hard, and we did travel ball until we couldn't do travel ball anymore. Parents wanted to take it over, and so they did. And these girls still play, and they play on their own and they work hard. If we're not winning the ball games if we don't have the girls. So it's up to the girls to take care of business and do their jobs when they step on that field. And that's what it's, going to take for us when we go to state in a couple weeks.
Coach Charlene Reyes, you didn't play, there was no softball
No.
program. What was your love of, Coach Ronnie Reyes played baseball at Western, but where was your love? Where did it come from? The love, because look at it. Look what you've done. Where did your love come from?
Probably watching him play baseball.
Men's fast pitch
and following that. And the coaches that we have are a core part of the team. And for the most part, watching those men play together, they played together until about 10 years ago. And then their bodies said, no, we're done. But watching them play and traveling, and we would travel with the girls, our girls playing. So we'd go to El Paso, the girls would play in a tournament, the men would play in a tournament. We'd be at the fields all day watching the girls play, watching the men play. So
you're right. It's a difficult game, and I've seen that at Western. It's a fun game though. It's a fun game to watch the strategy. I've really become a huge fan. Like I said, I've got Rio Rancho and Cleveland this evening up in Rio Rancho, and Rio Rancho gave La Cueva all they wanted last week. One of La Cueva's best players couldn't play, but Larrabee, the shortstop for Rio Rancho, hit 2 home runs. And that game went into extras, man. It did. So tonight, you never know. Rio Rancho's got a very good team. But, Coach, this year you're 20-3, 11-1. Haven't won a title since 2004. That's a while. That's about 20 years. But
we've come close. We've got lots of second places and third places, but just missed it by a little bit. Just a few little things here or there that if we tweaked and done, ball dropped a different direction or different way, we might have had it in the bag. But we're looking forward to it this season.
I'm going to go over your schedule here. A win against La Cueva in 8 innings, 8-7, beat Farmington. Lost to La Cueva, so you guys split. La Cueva, I'm mentioning them because they're ranked number 2. Cibola beat them 8-0. Beat Centennial 2-1 and 5-4, and then they turn around and beat you 14-3. You gave me a little bit of synopsis about your team, and you know what? It's a darn good one, man. It's a darn good one. Tell us a little bit about this year's version of the 2024 Alamogordo Tigers.
Well, we have our only senior, our one and only, and she's our pitcher on the mound. She's our go-to. You can put her anywhere, but if she's not on the mound, she's either at first or second. We've got a couple of girls that can catch. Haley Evans is her catcher, and if Haley's not catching, she's at shortstop. We've got Ice Ortiz, who's also another pitcher, and if she's not pitching, she's catching or she's at shortstop. They're all very versatile. Chloe Lunar, she's on the mound at times. She pitched the first game last Friday night against Las Cruces and took the win. But she's at third base if she's not on the mound. I can mention all these girls' names. I've got Alyssa Bautista and Davi Gonzalez. They're at first base. They're sharing some time. I've got Amani Kosum. She's utility. You can put her anywhere. You can put her right now. We'll probably start her tonight at second base. She can play third base. She plays the outfield. I've got. And I don't want to miss anybody. I've got Madison Ruiz. I've got Maylee Herrera, Alexis Rodriguez, Davi Gonzalez as well, Peyton Mersch. I've got, who am I missing? I've got all of those girls in the outfield. And it doesn't matter. They've got speed and do a great job of making sure that they're out there, on top of it. Who else? Who did I miss? I missed anybody? Oh, I'm sure I missed somebody. Let me think for a second.
I think you mentioned them all here. Amani Kosum, you mentioned her, Ashlyn Ortiz, Elisa Batista, Davi Gonzalez, Peyton Mersch. I think you got them. All. And,
Alexis Rodriguez. I said she's in the outfield, but she can pitch as well. Again, like I said, I've only got the one senior. There's 3 juniors on the squad. The rest are 8th, 9th, and 10th graders. And they hold their own. And like I said, I can any given game, they're versatile. I can put them wherever. Any situation, whatever we got to do, we can mix it up.
I've got a few minutes left because you got class coming up. But I got to ask you this, Coach Ronnie Reyes. Your wife Charlene's the head coach. Now, how does that work? What is your responsibility over there? Western New Mexico, we got an assistant coach. He works on hitting, pitching zones, taking your pitch in the zone, a lot of batting, a lot of fielding, a lot of fundamentals. I think he's helped Coach Ashley Hickman out there quite a bit. So what do you do, Coach Marquez? Coach Reyes? I'm sorry. What is the things you work on as far as how does the team work? Because sometimes we spend a lot of time together as husband and wife. My wife has to hear me with sports all day. She probably gets tired of it, talking to this coach, this athlete. So tell us about how that dynamic relationship works, because look what you built. I get tingles just thinking about what you've done. Someday I'm going to go down there and take a look at it. Tell us about that relationship, how it works out.
She's the brains. I mean, she's got, I'm telling you, she knows everything about the game. She's been with me side by side, and she knows the game more than I do sometimes. But as far as the work, I mean, I work the kids and show them everything. I show them all about the game of softball, because, it's not there's similarities to baseball and softball. But sometimes there's some things that are different. But some of the work that we put in, the weight training, the individual work, just overall everything that we do with them, I always told them, you don't get 100 cuts, that's not enough. Benedetto was my baseball coach, and he's always used to tell us, if you're not in the cage getting 100 cuts, then you haven't worked. 100 ground balls, 100 fly balls. So we do a lot of the individual.
He does a lot. He says we, meaning the girls execute and do the work and put in the time. But he's the one we're fundamentals. He does fundamentals. He's the one that shows them, gets them in the bullpen and shows them a new pitch. We do have, before we leave, I do want to mention the other coaches that do help us out, because they're a crucial part of our season this year. And they've played the game as well. We have Fernando Lunar. We have Kenneth Woods. We have Lupe Reyes, which is Ronnie's dad. And he's been... Wow. he's
Amazing.
he's not quite 90, but he's pushing it. But I still believe he hits the ball harder than anybody I know.
He's still hitting the fumbles and
yeah, he still hits the ball.
Really?
Anybody
yes,
I know.
almost 90.
Yes, and we have Chelsea Carroll. She's out there. She's an alumni. So, like I said, we have a core group of men who have played the game. They have the savvies. They know what they're doing, and they share with the girls. They are very giving when it comes to the game, to make sure that the girls have the same savvies, the same understanding of what it takes to be a championship team. Hopefully we see that in a couple weeks. You know, they got to bring their A game. They got to come prepared mentally, and you know that sometimes when you fall short with more experienced girls, sometimes, you know, with us right now, we only have one senior, but I will say that these sophomores that I have, they've been playing with varsity since 8th grade. So, you know, what it boils down to is what the coaches have given the girls, you know, and they have the savvies, and the girls put it together when it's time to.
You got to execute, right? Your state tournament's coming up.
We
got to wrap this up. We know you got to go to a class, but I'll tell you what, Coach Charlene Reyes and Coach Ronnie Reyes, I wish we had a little bit more time. I'm so impressed with what you built there. I really am.
Thank you. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
We'll see you up here at the state tournament in a couple weeks. Producer Alden Iwani, I'm Ed Nunez. We'll see you next week on the Sports.
Thank you.
Thank you.